This is Joanne coming to you live from Texas. I'm also known as #UnicornBoss. So as you guys are jumping online tonight, go ahead and hit me up with some unicorn emojis since those are my jam. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. So super excited tonight, you guys. It is Win It Wednesday. So typically on Wednesdays on my page, I normally put a post up and I encourage you guys to ask me your keto questions. What do you need help with? What are you struggling with? What's hard about keto? Tell me all of the things. So you guys put some really great questions up on the thread for today. So if you missed participating, feel free to go back to it because I do go back and I reference a lot of those old questions because sometimes I can't do them all every single time. So really excited to go over some of your questions and help some of you all. I also do these in my Instagram stories. So if you're not following my Insta, make sure you do that. It's just @SmilesJoay, SMILZJOAY, and you can make sure you participate in all of the fun and all the great things I do in my stories. Thanks for sharing, Sweet Stephanie. I so appreciate you. So you guys, if you love my page and you have lots of fun and you learn lots of things about keto, please give the video a quick share. I so appreciate your love and support. Feel free to introduce me to your favorite keto group. We're just talking today about some typical keto struggles and keto tips and tricks. So I'm really excited to share with you. So I see a bunch of you guys jumping online. Welcome. Go ahead and say hi. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. By the way, if you're a brand new friend, go ahead and comment new in the comments so that way I can circle back around and say hi to you. I've made a ton of brand new friends over the past few days, so if you're brand new to me, welcome. My name is Joanne. I've been keto over 1 year now. I'll actually be 2 years in November, you guys. My anniversary is coming up soon, so almost 2 years keto. I'm down 60 pounds. I just recently fit into a size 6 jean, which is, I've never been that tiny, you guys. Really exciting. So if you are keto, go ahead and comment keto in the comments and let me know how long you've been keto, and please feel free to give yourself a shout out, celebrate your most current NSV, celebrate your transformation, whatever makes you happy. I absolutely love to see that in the comments every single day. So let me say hi to a few people real quick and then we will go ahead and get started, you guys. So happy Win It Wednesday, you all. Hope you're having a great work week so far. I guess it's hump day technically, right? So let's see who we've got here. Hey, Stephanie, Tanya, Karen, let's see here, Robin, Tara, hi, Kylie, sweet sister, Jessica, who else? There's a bunch of Karens. I think there might be 3 of you and I only said Karen once. Hi, Shablis, hi, Tony, hi, Becky. So happy to have you guys. Welcome to my page tonight. So tonight we're gonna be going over some of the keto questions that were posted earlier on my thread. So if you have a burning question and you missed it, feel free to go back and still participate. I always go back and use these as like a catalog of questions to go over for our Wednesday night topics. Hi, Michelle, thanks for the unicorns. So, I love the little camel. Kylie gave me a hump day. Yeah, girl, hump day. So, okay, my first question that I had was from Karen. She said to me, is it true that once you're fat adapted, that you're able to eat more carbs and still stay in ketosis? So that's the first part of her question, which I think is really good. So I'll read it again. Is it true that once you're fully fat adapted, that you're able to eat more carbs and still stay in ketosis? And then the second part of that is, she says, I'm eating 15 grams of carbs a day and I'm kind of just wondering if I should up my carbs a little bit. So really great question. So first things first, I do want to caution with, I would probably say my top 3 mistakes that I see people do on their keto journey is that they're eating too many carbs. So if you're not tracking your macros and you really don't know what you're eating, I would say probably 95% of people are way overeating their carbs, okay? As a general rule, I can share my own personal story that when I first started, I came from a life of counting calories, so I was very versed on nutrition and food and what food looked like, and I was very good at using an app and plugging in my numbers. So when I went keto, I thought I was gonna be a total rock star at it, and then I plugged in my macros for carbs for keto numbers, because before I never looked at carbs. I just was looking looking at an overall calorie count. So there's a big difference between tracking calories and doing calories versus trying to stay under and minimize and do low carbs. So my first month of keto was generally a failure. I had a lot of 40 to 60 gram carb days, which are way too much. If you guys are keto, you know this. So share with me in the comments when you were brand new keto if you also struggled with getting your carbs under control, because that's typically something that a lot of people go through. So hi Bonnie, welcome. Thanks for the unicorns, and I'll answer your question in just a second, Michelle. So anyhow, long-winded story just to tell you that I caution people. I say that story with a lot of importance because I want to caution you to take what I'm saying and just say, oh, Joanne said I could go eat more carbs, okay? Because like I said, I feel like most people who are not tracking their macros and they don't know what food looks like and they're not losing weight and they're on a stool, it's probably because they're eating too many carbs. So I always want to caution people when they want to make the decision to have more carbs. Does that make sense? If it does, go ahead and give me some hearts in the comments here. Hi, Tony. Thanks for the unicorns. Thanks for sharing, sweet Kylie. I so love and appreciate you. Don't forget to friend me and follow me, by the way, you guys. I forgot to say that in the beginning. So if you click right here on the bottom, it will pop up. You can do follow and see first, and then click the 3 dots and turn on your live notifications. So be careful with carbs. Okay, now if you're tracking your macros like I do and you're strict keto and you know what your numbers are and you know you're really good at it, I would tell you that 15 grams of carbs is way too low. So please, you guys, keto is hard enough on its own, just doing what keto is supposed to be. So what keto is supposed to be is between 20 to 25 grams of total carbs, moderate protein, high fat. So why on earth would we make it harder and do 15 grams of carbs? Like, that's just way, way too low, okay? So, and you gotta remember, and I talk about this a lot on my page, so I'm sorry if it's a repeat, but you know, these are healthy carbs that we're having. We're not talking bread and pasta, you know, we're not talking grains, oatmeal, granola, and things like that. We're talking about 20 to 25 grams of healthy leafy green veggies, okay? So, you know, those extra 5 grams of carbs, I know it may not seem like a big deal, but you guys, 5 grams of carbs is an additional serving of dinner for me. That's a lot of food, okay? So please, eat your 20 to 25 grams of total carbs. And if you are working out every single day on the regular and you are really into the gym routine and into fitness, you can actually have more carbs as long as you're working out regularly. So yeah, Bonnie, I agree with you. Most people, their problem in the beginning is eating too many carbs and then also not eating enough fat. So that was like the second stage of my routine is once I got my carbs under control, then I was learning how to eat more healthy fat. So thanks for the unicorns, Wendy, welcome. And somebody had a really good question. So Michelle asked me, what does fat adapted mean? Okay, so for those of you that don't know and you're keto, and I think it's really important to understand the keto practice, and I'm actually gonna I'm actually going to talk about this in another question, so I'm just going to answer your question really lightly here, but hang on and I'll go more in depth later on. So basically, it takes 30 days for your body to become fully fat adapted. Ketosis usually happens between 7 to 10 days, okay? So that's when your body starts burning fat as a source of fuel. So for 30 days though, it takes time for your body to learn how to use fat. Okay, because your body typically, that's when you're eating a high carb, high glucose lifestyle, lots of sugar, your body, you have to basically train your body to get used to using fat as a source of fuel. And it's a 30-day process to become fully fat adapted. So that's the short answer to your question, but I promise I'll give you more details in one of these questions here coming up. So cool. So yeah, don't eat less than 20 to 25 grams of total carbs, please, you guys. These are healthy carbs. So that's really, really something I'm passionate about because I see so many people limiting too much, and I think it can be dangerous. I know for me, it's a trigger for me. It can potentially lead to eating disorders. So remember, these carbs are healthy carbs. They're vegetables. They're good for you. You don't have to deprive yourself that much, okay? So can you all promise me that you're gonna commit to loving yourself? If you are, say I promise in the comments here, but I just think sometimes when we get too micromanagey with our numbers, and you know me, I'm a numbers person. I'm super geeky. I love to manage the numbers. I'm strict keto. I love all of that. You know what I mean? So I would, you know, just just commit to loving yourself and maybe just slow down the deprivation a little bit. I think it can get a little bit too crazy. So Jessica, I'm not understanding your question. More than 3 days of working out, I don't know what that means. So tell me more information here. So cool. I'm glad you guys are promising that. I really appreciate that. I love you all. So my second question that I have here is Abby asked me about intermittent fasting. So she said, are you able to drink Bulletproof coffee in the morning if you're intermittent fasting? And how do you start intermittent fasting? And how do you decide how long to do it? Okay. And what is the typical fasting window? So I think those are some really great questions. I've got some answers here. So I'm loving all these promises. I'm glad that that really resonates with you. You know, I know so many people that come from like a food disorder background and they don't want to track for that reason because it can get to that unhealthy level. So I would just really encourage some of you, like, for me, keto is all about intuitive eating. It's about listening to my body and seeing how it feels. And I'm actually going to talk about this right now for intermittent fasting, and it goes hand in hand. So scientifically, for those of you that are wondering, can I have a Bulletproof coffee in the morning if I'm fasting? It really just depends on how strict you want to be with your fasting practice. So I will tell you, scientifically, if you introduce a fat into a fasting window, you are no longer fasted, okay? Fats are the trigger. So as soon as you give your body some fat, you're no longer fasting, because guess why? Fat is a source of fuel for keto, and fat is food on keto. Okay, so does that make sense? Does that break down some of like the confusion about fasting at all? If it does, go ahead and give me some hearts in the comments here. So as soon as you bring a fat into your window, so let's say you're doing a 16-8 fast and you have your Bulletproof coffee in the morning, technically you're breaking your window. So you're maybe at like an 8 to 10 hour window. You're taking a short break and then you're gonna fast again through till lunch, okay? So that's the scientific answer for you. But that being said, I'm gonna share with you my personal results. So I fasted for a year. I did a strict keto with a fasting practice, and I did a 16-8 fast. And I can tell you I had a Bulletproof coffee every single morning, and I had amazing results. I still lost over 60 pounds of fat, you know what I mean? So that's a decision that you're just gonna have to figure out how strict you wanna be on your own personal keto journey and what works best for you, okay? I can honestly tell you now that I'm closer to my goal weight. I'm very close to my goal weight. I hopefully want to lose just a few more inches by the end of the year. So I've actually switched my routine now, and instead of having my Bulletproof coffee in the morning like I normally do, I now have it as my afternoon treat. So I'm doing a full 16-hour window, fully fasted, without breaking that little fat in the morning in the middle of my window. But I will say something else. Back when I had my busy corporate job, you guys, there is no way you could have paid me $1 million to wake up in the morning and not have my Bulletproof coffee, okay? There was just no way I would have survived that high stress, it was a rough environment, okay, you guys. I needed those fats first thing in the morning. You know, I needed my Bulletproof coffee. I needed that energy. I needed it to set my brain on fire. I needed that fierce focus so that way I could sit there at my job and do the hard things and be able to focus and have that fuel going to my brain. So, I think like I was just saying before, I think we all need to stop focusing so much on depriving ourselves about what we can and can't have on keto. And how about we just make the decision to do what feels right for our body? So even though Bulletproof coffee might break your fasting window, if that feels good and it helps you live a happier, healthier, and better life, who cares? Honestly, okay? And you guys know I'm strict keto and I love the keto lifestyle. So I still was doing a 16-8 fast every single day, and I had my Bulletproof coffee, and I knew technically it was breaking my fast, but who cares? I was still having amazing results, and it really worked for me. So yeah, I love that Carol said, I need my Bulletproof coffee in the morning. So okay, like, does that take away some of like the panic for you guys? Don't sweat the details so much. Fast, enjoy a fasting practice. If you wanted to, be super strict and wait till the afternoon to have your Bulletproof coffee and have a full 16-hour window fully fasted, by all means, please enjoy that. I'm doing that now, and I can honestly tell you, I'm doing that only because I'm really working hard to lose some additional fat. But honestly, I miss my coffee in the morning. You know what I mean? And so just make the decision for what feels right for you and your body. So as far as what a typical fasting window is, 16-8 is the typical fast. You know what I mean? So if you follow a fasting practice, go ahead and comment fasting in the comments, and then let me know what kind of fasting you do. I would love to see that. I love to connect with other people that enjoy fasting. It's so good for you. So thanks for the love, Leah. I'm glad that, it resonates with you. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes we make it so overly complicated. Girl, if you like a Bulletproof coffee, please have one. It's good for you. It's not like you're telling me you want to have a bagel and a donut first thing in the morning, okay? I tell you, okay, we need to stop that, but those healthy fats are good for you. So honestly, I'm just like, who cares? So I love to do a 16-8 fast personally. So for those of you that are maybe new to fasting, you don't know what that means. That basically means you're fasted for 16 hours and then you eat in an 8-hour window. So, and I know that sounds like, when I first heard that, I was like, oh my God, you fast 16 hours? That's so hard. I promise you it's not. It's so easy to do, especially once you get your healthy fats right. So for me, what that looks like is after dinner, I don't eat. And I tend to eat dinner late, so you can't go by me because I'm a night owl and I'm up all night talking to people and helping them on their keto. But I go from a late dinner and I don't eat after dinner, and you fast all the way through until lunch the next day. So if somebody's doing a good job, what is it, like you stop eating around like 8 o'clock at night, 8, and then you break your fast around 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's really easy to do because 8 hours of your fast is sleeping, and then you're just going to lunch. And like I said, if you're doing a really good job with your keto and you're eating lots of healthy fats, you're not going to be hungry anyway. So yeah. I would tell you as far as when to start fasting and how that would work, and I see a bunch of you do 16-8 just like me. So you can make the hours whenever you want as long as it's 16 hours. So like my hours are completely different from yours because sometimes I'm still eating at 11 o'clock at night because I'm like I said, a completely different schedule. So don't start fasting until keto is easy. Okay, one of the biggest mistakes, one of my top 5 mistakes that I see people do is they go from a high sugar, high glucose, high carb lifestyle to all of a sudden they're cutting back to 20 to 25 grams of total carbs. They're trying to eat all these healthy fats. They're detoxing from the sugar. They're purging all the toxins. They're sick. They've got the keto flu. And oh yeah, now I'm going to starve myself and do fasting too, all at once. Okay, and people get violently ill. So please trust me, I appreciate your enthusiasm that you want to jump right in, do keto and do fasting and do all of the things at once. It's too much on your body. Please, you're literally shocking your bodies. It's not good. So let's start slowly. Keto is hard enough on your first month. Why would you complicate it with fasting? Like honestly, okay? My first month of keto was so much messy action and I was like failing every single day and making all kinds of mistakes. I can't imagine trying to fast too while I was doing that. So once keto is easy, and for me it took me about a month before I started to finally figure out keto. I started to finally keep my carbs in check. I started to finally learn how to up those healthy fats. And guess what happened? My story was very my story was very natural. So at the end of my first, or maybe like a month and a half into my keto journey, one morning I woke up, and this was when I was really learning to get up over 100 grams of daily fats every day. One morning I woke up and I wasn't hungry for breakfast anymore. And I ate it anyway because they tell us breakfast is important, right? And we're supposed to have our breakfast. And I got sick. My body did not eat breakfast. I didn't listen to my body. I didn't follow that intuitive eating, and I got sick from having breakfast. And I just started realizing, so the next day I woke up and I noticed that like, oh, I'm not hungry for breakfast. And I stumbled into intermittent fasting very naturally, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So when your keto is right and easy and you're eating enough healthy fats, you're gonna wake up in the morning and you're gonna notice that you're not hungry. So try going without food and see if you can make it till 12, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which would be a 16-8 fast. So Leah, I can't give you an exact time. Everybody's keto story is completely different. Some people take 3 months to get their keto where they need it to be. Everybody's different, but I would say if you're tracking your macros and you'll know, Because my first month of keto was so hard, I thought I was gonna die. Anyone else? If that's you, go ahead and give me some skull emojis in the comments. My first month of keto, I thought I was gonna die. It was so hard. And at one day, it started to be easy. And when it starts to become easy, I would say that's a time to maybe start considering doing some fasting. So as far as healthy fats, Patty, I've got so many videos on my page that I could share with you. I've got so many other questions here, so I'll make sure that I get you tagged in some great resources. But there are tons and tons of healthy fats that we can get you some resources on. So, and fats for me, Holly, were the last thing to get in check. I needed to manage my carbs first. Once I got my carbs where they needed to be, then I started to learn what foods I needed to eat to up my healthy fat game. So it will come. It's definitely coming. Keto is not an overnight process. I would say for me, it was about a 3-month journey. Month 1 was really hard and it sucked. By my second month, I was starting to really feel like I was getting this and I was enjoying the process. And month 3 was really when I was like, whew, I could do this for the rest of my life. It's amazing, okay? So it's coming. Remember, this is a lifestyle. This isn't just a diet. This isn't something you're gonna do for a month and lose 40 pounds and then go back to carb eating. This is a healthy lifestyle for you, so. I've got a few more notes here about fasting and then we'll get to the next question. So once you are fasting, I would give you I would encourage you with a few things. So do a 16-8 fast daily, do a 24-hour fast once a week, and then you also want to do a 60-hour fast monthly, okay? And I learned this from a bunch of keto doctors that are leaders and experts in the industry. They talk about the magic of doing 16-8 daily, 24-hour weekly, and 60-hour monthly, and just all of the benefits and what that can do for your body. So I do run a 60-hour fasting challenge every single month. So if you want to be a part of my monthly fast and join my accountability group, go ahead and comment 60 in the comments and I'll get you some more information about that for next month. We're already on track to do ours this month. We're going to do it on the 21st. So, okay, my next question is, Sherry wanted to know about portions. Now, I recently just did a video about portions, so I'm not going to go too in depth in this. I'm happy to tag you in that other video. That way I'm not constantly repeating content for you guys. Hey, Alex, welcome. But I'll do a quick recap for you about portions. I don't really have a lot of information to offer. It really is basic. Number 1 is follow the golden rule of keto. I say here on my page all the time, so if you know my golden rule about keto, go ahead and comment in the comments. I would love to see those of you that have been following me long term and you know what that is. But my golden rule of keto is only eat when you're hungry, and when you do, eat fat first. Okay, and guess what fat does? It sustains you. It fills you up. It gives your body the nourishment it needs to function long term and stay in ketosis. So if you are eating lots of healthy fat, you don't need as much food. So that's immediately going to help you with portion control. Does that make sense? If it does, go ahead and give me some hearts in the comments. You can go ahead and give me some hearts right here too. So fat helps you to control your portions. So if you're hungry, it tells me you're not eating enough fat, because I don't know about you, but I'm not hungry 95% of my day. So if you're like me and you don't feel hungry, comment not hungry. If you feel hungry, comment hungry. Let me know in the comments, hungry or not hungry. I would love to see this. The last time I asked, I was so celebrating with you about how many people that said they weren't hungry, because that means you're doing the right thing. If you're doing the right thing on keto, you should not be hungry, because those healthy fats help to sustain you. The other thing is I save most of my food for dinner. So, I might have a light, high-fat lunch, but most of my carbs go towards my dinner, honestly. So I don't really worry about portions, and I say that with caution, okay? Don't go crazy on me, you guys, please. But if most of my carbs and most of my nutrition is coming from my dinner, what does that mean? That means I could potentially have 2 to 3 servings, okay? Controlled servings, all right? I'm not saying have 3 servings and eat half a casserole, okay? But if I want to have 3 spoonfuls of a casserole and most of my food is coming from my dinner, that's fine. I'm not going to worry about that, okay? Does that make sense? So I'm not giving you permission to overeat by saying that, but I am telling you that You know, if most of your sustenance is coming from dinner, it's okay to have more than one serving, okay? I'm loving that so many of you guys are not hungry. Woo! Great job on your keto. I'm so happy for you. So a portion is typically the size of your fist, and not all fist sizes are the same. So you could also say it's about the size of a deck of cards. So sometimes I usually go by that when I'm spooning out a casserole. I think to myself, does this look about the size of a deck of cards? If it does, I count it as one serving. I'm not super critical about this, you guys, because guess what happens? All of my keto food is nice and high in fat, and I'm only gonna eat until I'm not hungry anymore. So if that's one portion, cool. If that's 2 portions, awesome. If I need 3 spoons because I did 1 meal a day and I feel hungry, cool. Okay, it's really not a big deal. I think where people fall into an issue with portion is that they're eating too many snacks throughout the day. So it's okay to have keto snacks. They're healthy, they're good for you, but you do have to kind of try and manage them because there are carbs in them. So, you know, when I had my busy corporate job, I tried to limit myself to 2 keto snacks during my work day, and then a healthy keto lunch and a healthy keto dinner. But you know, some of you guys, like, I get concerned and I see some of you guys are having like 6 cheese sticks a day. You know, dairy is one of the biggest culprits of stalling your keto journey. So 6 cheese sticks is really too many. Oatmeal is not keto, it's a grain. So one of the, if you're looking to be truly keto, keto is no grains. So that would be a no. Oatmeal is really, honestly, now that I'm completely converted and I'm like passionate about keto, oatmeal is nothing but sugar for your body. So I would say if you can let that go, please let it go. It's no good for you. I know the Heart Association says it's good for you. It's really not. So yeah, that's everything I have for portion control. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys learned a few brand new things with that. So my 4th question was from Beatrice. She asked me, what are successful ketoers eating each day and what keeps them losing weight? So I thought that was a really cool question. So for those of you that need some great resources, I actually have a few different meal plans in my secret recipe group. So if you guys would like an invite and an access to some additional resources and you would like an invite to my secret recipe group, go ahead and comment group in the comments and I'll make sure I get you an invite. Rather than going over what people eat, I've got over 100 recipes on my personal page, and I've got plenty of meal plans that I can get you in regards to what are people eating on keto. So let's kind of save that for that. As far as successful ketoers, I think they really know what food looks like and they stay within the guidelines. So I talked about this earlier in the video, but just a quick recap: 20 to 25 grams of total carbs, high fat, moderate protein. So, you know, 9 times out of 10 when I'm chatting with people and I ask, and they're saying they're struggling or they're saying they're on a stool or they're saying that they're not losing weight, okay, I'll ask them what they're eating or what their macros look like, and I see that they're really not keto, they're low carb. Excuse me. And if low carb is your goal and that works for you, I just want you to know I love you, I support you in whatever your journey needs to be, okay? But for me, I can honestly tell you guys that low carb did not work for me. Because the magic is in the healthy fats. And I would encourage those of you that are low carb to consider adding in some healthy fats, because that's really the secret sauce. Once I started getting up over 100 grams of fat every single day, the weight just started melting off of me. I lost 18 pounds my first month, another 10 my second month. I mean, in just a few short months, I was down 60 pounds, okay? So the magic is in the healthy fats, and they're healthy fats, they're good for you. So strict keto is best, honestly. You know, you can do whatever works best for you, but for me, I need to be strict keto. I'm the type of person that as soon as I start letting a little bit of wiggle room into my life, then I'm eating donuts. I can't. I have to stay strict, okay? So I know some of you guys are lazy and you're dirty keto and that works for you, and by all means, love it, but I can't. Strict keto is best. Don't cheat, you guys. Every time you cheat, you are crippling your ketosis and your body's natural process. So Michelle, if you're still on board, this is the answer to your question from earlier, okay? So it takes 7 to 10 days to get into ketosis, which is fat burn, okay? And it takes 30 days to become fully fat adapted. every time you cheat, you're actually disrupting the natural cycle. And I find that the average person cheats about once a week, okay? So if you're cheating once a week, are you ever becoming fat adapted, and are you ever really hitting true fat burn? I really challenge you with that, and I say that with lots of love. I know that's hard for some of you to hear. Cheating on a weekly basis is going to prevent fat adaptation and fat burn. It really is, okay? So you have to stop and try to stop the regular cheating. That's what I want to say, okay? And it disrupts the cycle of how keto works, okay? So if you are, for those of you that don't know, mitochondria are a huge part of the keto lifestyle. They are the energy centers of the cell. So inside of the cell, it's what gives the cell life, essentially. It's the energy center of the cell, okay? So when your body is functioning on glucose, your mitochondria, your energy centers of your cell, are using glucose to run. And your body's running on glucose, okay? Then you switch over to keto, and all of a sudden your mitochondria have to learn how to use fat as a source of fuel instead of glucose. Am I making sense so far? So what happens to your mitochondria is they actually burst and they die. Okay, did you guys know that? So your mitochondria don't know how to use fat, so they have no choice. They burst, they die, your body creates new cells, and those brand new cells with the brand new mitochondria know how to use fat as a source of fuel. Okay, so you create all of these new cells with mitochondria that are using fat, and then once a week you're cheating and you're having sugar or glucose again. Guess what happens? All of those brand new cells that you just made, that your body just made, and your body was using fat successfully as a source of fuel, you cheat, they all burst and die again. And then you start the process all over again. So then you build brand new cells that are using glucose as a source of fuel, and then you go back to keto. Guess what happens? They burst and die again. And then they have to create brand new cells that will use fat as a source of fuel. And it's this awful, vicious cycle. So when I say strict keto is best, I really do say that with a lot of love. If you're cheating every few days, weekly, you're constantly disrupting that fat adaptation process. And it takes your body 30 days to become fully fat adapted. So let's say in a perfect world, you are strict keto for 30 days, you don't make any mistakes, and you don't make any cheats. So initially, all of your cells burst, okay? The mitochondria die, you create new cells that know how to use, and your new mitochondria know how to use fat as a source of fuel, and for 30 days, they start learning how to use fat successfully. And by the end of 30 days, your body is like Wonder Woman and Superman. You're like, I'm using fat successfully, I'm fully fat adapted. How do you know? It takes 30 days of strict keto. It's just scientific. 30 days of strict keto gets you into full fat adaptation, okay? So I'm glad it's making sense for you guys. So this is why I'm saying all the time, like, stop with the constant cheating, because you're disrupting the cycle of your mitochondria. They can't ever get into a regular fat usage if we're constantly killing them, okay? So yeah, let's stop killing our mitochondria. Start learning to love your mitochondria, okay, you guys? I'm actually nerdy enough to say that. So if you enjoyed that, don't forget to friend me and follow me. Give the video a quick share. I see we just got a bunch of new viewers, so welcome. I hope you loved my little spiel about mitochondria, okay? If you did, let me know in the comments here. So the other thing to answer Beatrice's question was, I think people that are successful at keto understand that they need to limit their sweet treats. So I personally, last night, I just made if you guys didn't see my video from last night, go back, grab the recipe, okay? I did chocolate regatta cookies, and I know that might sound disgusting, but they're my favorite keto cookie in the whole wide world. They're amazing, okay? And I actually have to control myself because they're so delicious. I want to eat like 6 of them. I want to eat like 6 of them today. But I'm on a strict rule with myself. I can only have 2 keto treats every day. So I let myself have one after lunch, and I'm gonna have another one after my dinner tonight. I still haven't had dinner because I'm not hungry. So yeah, just because they're keto treats doesn't mean you can eat 7 of them, okay? And when you eat too many keto treats, even though they're keto friendly, they can actually prevent fat burn and fat adaptation. So normally they encourage people that when you're brand new keto, they tell you not to cheat for 30 days and not to have any fake sugars your first 30 days. And I actually did this. For those of you that say it's not possible, when I was brand new keto, my first month was really sucky, okay? But then once I got the hang of keto, because for me it took about a month to learn, my second month I did strict keto 30 days, no cheats, and I didn't have any fat bombs, any keto cookies, anything like that. Like I just went strict straight through. And guess what happens? I mean, the first week or two is really challenging because you have that hankering for something sweet. But guess what happens now? Now sweet things don't control me anymore. So if you suffer from those sugar cravings, go ahead and give me comment sugar in the comments here. But I would encourage you to do a little personal challenge with yourself. 30 days, strict keto, don't have any keto treats. And I promise you, you can do it. It really works. So we're up to my last question, you guys. So if you're enjoying the video, go ahead and share me out. Don't forget to friend me and follow me. So Yvonne asked me, how do I break a long stall? So, and I think this is a very common question. I get this almost every single day in my DMs. You know, people private message me and they're like, I lost 50 pounds to start, but I haven't lost weight now in 6 months. What can I do? So, I've got some top tips and tricks for you about how you can potentially break a stall. So first things first, I think we're gonna go back to my favorite thing. Sorry, you guys, get super strict with your keto. Okay, you need to get super strict. You need to figure out all of the things, okay? Start tracking your macros. You guys know I'm a huge fan of tracking macros. So if you guys love to track, go ahead and comment macros in the comments here. You don't need to track forever. I'll be honest, it's probably been 2 months since I've tracked my macros, you guys, but I tracked them for so long. I think it's one of the reasons why I've been so wildly successful in my keto is because I took the time in the very beginning to learn what food looks like. So now when I eat a cheese stick, I know how it's impacting my day. I know what 5 cheese sticks will do how they will impact my day because I've done it, okay? And I've plugged in the numbers and I saw that it wasn't a good thing, okay? And that's how I learned. So start tracking your macros. It makes all the difference. I was recently chit-chatting with a brand new follower of mine. She's like, I've been strict keto for over a year. I've been doing well. I finally downloaded Senza. So if you guys want to know my favorite tracking app, it's Senza, S-E-N-Z-A. She's like, I finally took your advice. I downloaded Senza. And she's like, holy cow, I was eating way too much food. So it's the truth. You really just don't know unless you track your numbers, okay? And most people are eating keto food, but just way too much of it, okay? So it's really nice to go ahead and have that there. So let's see what else. So get super strict with your keto, start tracking your macros, begin a fasting practice. So if you're not fasting, go ahead and make sure you start doing some fasting. Like I was saying earlier, an intermittent fast every day, a 24-hour fast once a week, and a 60-hour monthly fast. And start moving your body. So many of us are like really bad with getting our body up and moving. So actually tonight after this live video, I'm planning on going to the gym and getting back into my gym routine. So yeah, really excited to start getting back into a gym routine for me personally. And it doesn't need to be gym, you guys. For me, I mean, you guys see me. I'm out walking my dog 4 times a day because I share in my Instagram stories with you guys. I just like to show the example that you can get up and move your body just by taking stairs, just by parking farther away. When I had my busy corporate job, that parking lot could hold like anywhere from like 200 to 500 cars. So I would park in the back and then walk all the way up. So you can make small little lifestyle choices every single day that will impact your health. So the app that I enjoy is Senza, S-E-N-Z-A. And for those of you that are maybe new to working out in the gym, in case you didn't know, and I've started to really learn this just by going to different keto conferences, you guys, that keto is all about muscle performance and building healthy, strong muscle. So if cardio isn't your jam, just start lifting some weights, and it doesn't have to be heavy. I mean, I think I do like 10-pound weights on my arms. You know what I mean? So building Ken Ford. If I don't know if you guys follow any of the scientists like I do, but I love Dr. Ken Ford. He's so nerdy and like dry humor and fun. So look him up sometimes. He has a podcast. He's really great to listen to. If you can handle his dry humor, he's very dry, but he talks about how keto is all about picking up heavy things and putting them down. So, you know, maybe start to build some lean muscle. Okay, if cardio isn't your jam, that's okay. And make sure you're eating enough healthy fats. I think we talked about this. Invest in some high quality MCT oil. I think if you're really serious about your keto, MCT oil is like a no-brainer. It's basically instant ketosis for your brain. It's instant ketosis. Well, actually it is. Instant ketosis and instant energy for your brain. So in case you didn't know, and I've learned this recently at a keto conference, MCT oil is perfect brain food. It goes straight to your brain and your body doesn't have to do anything to convert it. Your body can use it as is and it goes straight to your brain. It's brain food. That's why when you add MCT oil to your Bulletproof coffee, you feel so amazing having those MCTs into your brain first thing in the morning. So the name of the doctor, Sarah, is Dr. Ken Ford. He's old and nerdy like me, but he's super funny. He's got a wicked, dry sense of humor, and I don't know, I really like him, so I think he's hysterical. So instant ketosis and brain fuel with high quality MCT oil, and your body doesn't need to do anything to convert it to energy. It goes straight to your brain and your brain can use it. So that's why they're encouraging a lot of people that are suffering from brain cognition and brain issues to start having MCT oil every day. So if you guys watch my Instagram stories, I'm at SmilesJoA, but you see me slurping up my MCT oil every single morning in my little packets. Like I have to have it. It feels so good. So I can get you a private message about where you can get MCT oil. If you guys are curious about the MCT oil I use, just go ahead and comment MCT in the comments. I've tried some of the ones that are out there in the world and I really don't like them. I've seen people get sick on the one from Walmart, so please don't use that one, you guys. I find that price does matter when it comes to MCT oil. So love you guys so much. I really hope you enjoyed the content, okay? So I have a trick that I use every single day to make sure I'm getting back into ketosis. So if you want to know about my keto trick, go ahead and comment trick in the comments. And if you'd like to be a part of my secret recipe group, go ahead and comment group. I'll make sure I get you guys an invite. And I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great night, and I will be back to chat with you guys again soon. Take care.